Welcome to another edition of the Cosmic Corner, brought to you by Interstellar Inspirations LLC. I'm Laura Jean Checki, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about tick removal. As the summer approaches and the quarantine restrictions are lifted and we are able to go into the parks, we have to remember that there are other things that we need to do to protect ourselves against arboviruses such as Lyme disease and other diseases that ticks can carry. When I was a child, I was told many things about tick removal, all of which are not true. So I do not recommend that you follow any of the things that you've heard about as far as tick removal when you were a child. In Lyndhurst, where I grew up, it was the wives' tales, as we call them, that were spread around among all of the children, that if you got a tick embedded in you, you could take a match and put the match to the rear end of the tick and it would back out, or some petroleum jelly would be enough to suffocate the tick and it would back out. You could put nail polish remover and the tick would back out, or you could take forceps and sort of twist the tick out and squeeze it out and get it all out of there. None of these methods are good methods to try because they will cause or can cause the tick to regurgitate everything in the contents of its stomach into your system. This is something you want to avoid because that's where the pathogens lie, right? So you don't want to have the tick regurgitate its contents into your system. I was asked to perform an activity or to create an activity regarding ticks, and there were literally none online, which surprised me because it's such a major factor. Lyme disease is so pervasive, and I was surprised that there weren't any activities to show how to effectively remove a tick. So I created one, and I did it using this dog. Okay, but the methods that I use on the dog will be the methods that you can use on yourself as well. So first I'm going to talk about where you would find ticks on a human, and so that's going to be in the hair area, underarms, around the waist, the back of knees, in between the legs, in and around the ears, and in the belly button. Okay, and with the dogs or a pet, you're going to find a lot of the same areas. So ears is big region, right? Because it's dark and they like dark areas. Around the tail, in between the back legs, in between the toes is a big area. So if your dog goes outside, you want to look in between the toes. Like I said, between the back legs, under the neck, in between the front legs, under the collar, around the eyelids. Okay, so a lot of times you'll find ticks around the eyelids of the dogs. And of course, once again, in the ears. So the way that you're going to remove the tick, and I have an engorged tick right here, is you're going to take your forceps, get as close to the mouth part as possible. So even if you have to dig down a little with your forceps, that's okay. And then you're going to pull the tick straight out. You're not going to twist it or squeeze it. You're just going to pull it straight out. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that one more time with the tick in the ear so you can see this. You're just going to get as close to the mouth part as possible and pull it straight out. So you want to get that mouthpiece, okay, because the mouth parts are how we identify ticks readily. And there's other methods, but the mouth parts are the way that we do that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your tick and you're going to drop it into a Ziploc or a bag, a plastic bag like that, a baggie. And you could bring this to the Bergen County Department of Health or the health department in your local area. If you live in Lyndhurst and you happen to know me personally, I will take your ticks since I am performing a study on behalf of the county as well. And I will help to identify whether it has a pathogen or not. We have an entomologist on staff at the county that confirms all of the findings that I present in a spreadsheet, and he actually collects all the ticks once I'm done identifying them as well, in addition to doing everything that he's doing, which is a much bigger project. So in any case, where you are going to find ticks or how you can avoid finding ticks or getting them attached to is you should know where to expect ticks, right? So they're going to be in wooded areas, areas with tall grasses, bushy areas. So you want to try to avoid those areas altogether. You can treat your clothing and gear with 0.5% permethrin, or you can get a repellent that is EPA approved. Okay, we want to use things that are approved. In addition to that, you want to avoid the contact with the ticks again, but if you can't, and you have been out of doors, camping or hiking, you're going to want to come home, take all your clothes. If you can throw them in the hot wash, that is ideal, and then put them in the hot dryer, because that's going to mitigate any ticks that are on the clothing. You want to shower as soon as being out of doors. And if you think that you have come in contact with ticks and maybe you feel something and it's in an area that you can't get to, you want to either go to a doctor or have somebody that in your family look at the area for you to see if it is in fact a tick. In addition, if you feel that you haven't removed the tick altogether, or you feel that you can't remove the tick, please go to your physician and have the physician remove the tick for you. And then again, put it in the plastic baggie, bring it to your local health department. In this case, Bergen County Health Department has an amazing mosquito and tick department that is working all year long to protect its residents against any kind of arboviruses. So tick identification is very important. Thank you so much for your attention, and please don't listen to the old wives' tales. They can cause more harm than good, and we want to make sure everybody stays safe. Stay well and be healthy.